There's a couple of stories that I think, are worth talking about. The tariff checks, which I don't really like. We can talk about that. Also, there's new update on the Jeffrey Epstein thing that I don't know what it means.
Which one do you...
Where do you want to start?
Let me ask you a couple questions. Which one do you like more, the $2,000 stimulus check or the 50-year-old mortgage, or 50-year mortgage idea? Which one is... If you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
If I had to pick one,
Yes.
I would pick the $2,000,
Really?
tariff check. Yeah.
I don't think I think I'd pick the 50-year mortgage. To me, the 50-year mortgage should be available if some bank wants to offer it. I mean, it's up to a private. I don't know what the government has to do with any of this, but if a bank wants to say, "Hey, 50-year mortgage, here you go, take that risk and trust someone's going to pay you back for 50 years," okay.
I want the money.
What?
I want the money.
You want the money. Well, I got news for you, Glenn. You're not going to be in the category that receives any money.
I'll never get it.
You're going to be paying for it, not receiving it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, neither one of those two stories are my favorites. And
yeah, I don't want to be writing checks. I mean, I don't want to be, the money is never really the money. It's long as we have excess, We got, whatever he says, $3 billion. Great. Can we apply that directly to the debt? How about that one?
Yeah.
But he knows he's in trouble. He knows he's in trouble. He can't turn the economy around as quickly as he did the last time. It's not 2016 anymore. And so, everybody was expecting and voting for him to turn things around. And the price of gas has gone down. The price of eggs have gone down. But you're still... now we're at 3% inflation. Well, okay. What about going the other direction, getting the prices down to where they were, in 2020? And gas has done that, but very few other things have done that.
Yeah, and I think, understandably, it's a central part of his platform. The tariffs have been a big focus. He's talked a lot about it. It's also one of those things that, there's a lot of disagreement on. So I think that's where he's drawn, right? Like, that's him. He likes being in the fight. He likes being out there talking about these things.
Yep.
So that, I think, has, because it's not a particularly popular issue, it has made it his economic approval ratings be more difficult, I think. And I think people are feeling, some of the stuff being echoes from previous administration, with the spending and everything else. That's still the major cause of price increases, not tariffs as of yet. But, some of that, isn't helpful as well. And you try throwing $2,000 at people, again, I don't know that that's even going to pass. He can't just do it. That's not something that he can just do on his own. He can't just hand out thousands of dollars in checks, I don't think. I've seen a constitutional justification for that. I don't think that's what he's even planning. I'm sure he's planning on trying to get something passed to do that if that comes up. But you're right. We don't have the money. I am not a person who wants to solve our debt problems with increased quote unquote revenues to government. I don't think that's the correct way to do it. But if you have those revenues, if just, things are going great and you get more money in, you're right. I'd rather have that dished out toward the debt, at least as long as there's a long-term plan to address it. I mean, I don't know that paying, 1% or 2% of our debt off is even better than, honestly, just dishing out a bunch of money to people. But I will say it is what we would refer to as there's wealth. It is going from one place to another, and we are redistributing it. That is what is occurring here. And it used to be something we had a big problem with. It's just, again, something he threw out. Maybe it's not even a hardcore proposal, but we should be concerned about going down that path long term.
What is he going to do? Honestly, what can he do?
Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and one thing we didn't get a chance to get to that I would love to get your thoughts on is I think this is one of the reasons he's really embraced going all in on AI. I think he sees this and the opportunity of leading the world in AI as a way to grow the economy out of the problems that we're facing here. And that's usually his approach. You think that that's part of it?
It's always his approach. Yeah, I think that's 100% what it is. He's been convinced that this is the future. And, if that works and we're the leader in it, then we will grow our way out because of the taxes and the jobs and everything else, and we could dwarf, through a really robust economy, we could grow and grow and grow to where even just this debt, it doesn't seem so bad. That's absolutely his plan, but that's a long way away, and getting there. Did you see the story in Texas about the server farm that's all built, ready to go? They're still working on the power plant, but they have all the permits and they're actually building the power plant. Did you see that?
No.
In Texas, they don't have anybody taking it yet.
What do you mean? They built a server farm with no company attached to it?
No company attached to it. Texas is, and it's not a Texas thing. It's, a bunch of, billionaire Texans. They're like, we'll build you a server farm. And so they're building these buildings with power plants because they want all of them to be in Texas. And they're saying don't panic, but you would think that there would have been takers for that immediately. And, it's been offered and nobody has snapped it up yet.
I wonder.
That concerns me a bit. Obviously,
there's a lot of economic considerations as to, you got to figure out what the cost is, and there's a lot to consider there. But it's interesting. I mean, there is a theory that this is really going to be a bubble, and we're going to see a situation like we did in 2000, where the internet kind of blew up on everybody. And it's not that the internet never came, right? It's certainly a big part of our lives, maybe all of your life, if you happen to be under the age of 30 or so. But the internet came, it did change the world, but it took a while. And we had a collapse before it really did what everyone was promising it was going to do.
So I told you yesterday I'm reading 1929, the new book, 1929. It is fabulous. You got to listen to it or read it. It's just fabulous. But they're describing what the exuberance was like in 1929 and how, it's never going to go down. It's never going to go down. Do you know? I mean, look at all of the things on the horizon. Look at all the new technology that is happening. Look at the people that are moving in. And, we've got so many cars and so many refrigerators to sell and everything is changing. And it's just up, 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 up. And everybody bought into it. I mean, I knew the run up to the crash of 29 was bad with exuberance. I had no idea it was this bad. I mean, they were openly calling it stock gambling. People were taking money, borrowing money, and then they would invest it in a company, but they would watch it as it would go during the day, and they would make several trades, in a week, because I hear this one's hot and we're going to gain a little here, and then we'll pull it out and then we'll put money over here. I mean, it was gambling. It literally was gambling, and it was just consuming everybody. And the real problem is the banks decided that they would give loans for playing the stock market. And so all of these banks are just so over leveraged. And that's kind of what I feel like here. These, we're really excited about, the future of AI. Some of us are also equally as terrified. But it is going to happen. I just don't know how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. And there's just seems to be so much money sloshing around in the system, and we don't even have the power units. You see, there's another server farm that has just been built, and it's sitting empty, and it's been sitting empty for a while because it's in California. A, nobody wants to build a server farm in California. B, they didn't connect it to its own power plant. And so California, you can't put California. You're going to suck all that energy when you already have brownouts, and then the server farm's just going to go down every once in a while. That's completely unworkable.
Let me just interrupt real quick for a quick message from Gavin Newsom, 2028, because there's never been a man more clearly running for president. And also, this is a guy, we need people to be aware of what it's like in California and what they're dealing with there. You're right. It would be insane to build these types of facilities there, knowing what California will likely do to you. And, you're right. I think we both have the same concerns on AI. There's a lot of bad that comes along with it. But there is a lot of promise as well, and there probably will be really good developments that come out of it, and it probably will take over the world and do all the major, amazing things that they say it's going to do, along with a lot of really terrible ones, just like the iPhone. But the path there is not linear. It's not this wonderful upswing. Something's going to happen, and you look at the way our economy is structured right there. Wow, the bet is big on AI. I mean, it's really the only bet anyone's making right now.
I know. Can I switch topics here for a second? Sotheby's is having a big auction, and something really, really important in the art world is going up for sale. It is a solid 18-karat gold toilet. Now, not the toilet that you might have heard before. That one was stolen. They never found it. It's just the gold is worth $10 million. It's going up for sale. This artist, he's some, cultural phenomena, according to Sotheby's. He took gold, melted it down, and made it into a gold throne. Okay. Apparently, it's a statement on the excess of capitalism. Yeah, but I think the real statement isn't in the art. I think the real statement is in us. Have you ever heard of Duchamp, Stu? He was an artist in the 1920s, and he did a urinal, and he was making fun of the art world, and he just took a urinal out of a men's restroom and then put it on the wall and called it art. And he was mocking the art world, mocking him, saying, you call anything art. And as long as you like it, then it goes up on value. Well, the art world critics decided, two can play at that game. We love that. That is art. That is beautiful art. And it became one of the most famous art pieces around. Now they're doing it with the toilet, which you should just tell everybody, this whole thing is a con.
Yeah.
It's a con.
Yeah.
The art world is a con.
And this comes from the 100th most important person in the world of art, as named by Art Something magazine several years ago.
Yeah.
Glenn Beck.
My favorite magazine.
Yes. It was Art Something magazine. But I will say, you ever notice how a lot of statements against capitalism end up in the person making the statement with a lot of money?
Uh-huh.
That seems
I have noticed that.
Happen a lot.
I have noticed that.
It's like all these Hollywood movies that make these grand statements against capitalism wind up lining their pockets with millions of dollars. It's so strange how that happens.
Yeah, but they hate it. And they hate themselves when they have to spend it. They just hate themselves. This artist, he just hates capitalism, but somehow or another, he got enough. Now, remember, the last toilet sold for the same, and so the last toilet was like $10 million. So he had $10 million, then that toilet was stolen, and so he's made another one with another $10 million worth of gold. So this starving artist somehow or another has coughed up $20 million to make 2 gold toilets, but he hates capitalism and rich people. They're just so horrible.